thinking of everything that's going on in the year 2020, I'm reminded of a verse by a renowned writer by the name of Eric B. that says, "Standing on shaky ground, too close to the edge. Let's see if I know the ledge." Because at the end of the day, we all know that knowledge is power. Just like knowledge is knowing that there will be people that will rather stand in line and get themselves a game system or a pair of Jordans, but yet they will not stand in line and vote, then have the audacity of what's going on with the current administration. But once again, knowledge is power. And ever since I've been able to pick up a book and turn a page, I've always questioned what I read. But there are some questions in life, that you just don't want the answers to, unless you're curious like a little monkey searching for an adventure. And because of that, I always find myself in tight spots without a man wearing a yellow hat to help me maneuver elsewhere. But I've always looked at this world as being an open book to possibilities. So naturally, I should be well knowledgeable in distinguishing the difference between what is fact and fiction. But facts these days are more fabricated than the paper they are printed on. Case in point. September 11, 2001, it is stated that America suffered its first terrorist attack on its own soil by the use of airplanes. But this country doesn't want to recall the Tulsa race riots of 1921, when America dispatched 6 biplanes to Tulsa to drop incendiary bombs and fire rounds on a so-called Negro uprising, killing over 300 blacks. But maybe they didn't see this as terrorism, but more like a chance to burn an old crop to render it useless. And I know also in this year, we're looking for a vaccine with everything going on. So once I stumbled across a book on medicine, and from there began to pick up a pace on how we are always racing towards a cure. Now, sure, advances have become costly over the years, but the price of life and intelligence has made up for it easy. I mean, the Ohio State prison system once injected live cancer cells into inmates to find some type of results, while FDA manufactured a new drug to calm down children's mild complaints by taking placebo, spelling it backwards, just to redistribute it as Obercop to help double their profits. Now I'm now starting to question the authenticity within this written scripture of what we know these days, because I guess it's best that I look towards a good book, because they said it in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and God's word will always reign supreme as long as it's the King James version. No, wait. No, it has to be the New International one, or one of the other 50 books that was produced since the original. So if the red ink that I'm reading isn't actually coming from him, what am I to believe? We are in the United States of America. So how can I state these facts for us Americans to understand when America doesn't even have an official language to comprehend? Food for thought. There's more libraries built here than McDonald's, but we're so quick to intake toxins over knowledge because we find it easier to digest. You see, facts are in this world wishing to still exist, especially on everything that we need to know. And I know I am up here talking about facts and other stuff like I'm just getting high from my own words. But that would be no different than taking the Declaration of Independence, rolling it up, and smoking it since it was written on hemp paper. Now, Patrick Henry was asked to help draft the Constitution because, that's one of those things that we look forward to when it comes to people's rights, but he refused to because he stated that he smelled a rat. Now, years later, you have more than one running around Capitol Hill that we voted in without knowing these facts, cutting up all this stimulus cheese to feed to these low-income neighborhoods. But come to think about it, if a pro is a positive and a con is a negative, then I guess the opposite of progress should be Congress. But like I said, ever since I've been able to pick up a book and turn the page, I've always questioned what I read, which means it should be better to know a little more than a lot. But what can I determine now if we don't even know the difference between what is fact and fiction? And when you do know these things, have those folks respect your voice, and in turn, they'll respect your vote.